Alright. Hey, how's it going? I had a newsflash uh, out there for you. 6,000 innocent people were enslaved today in America. Dun 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 dun. Newsflash: 6,000 innocent Americans were enslaved today. Uh, some were drug out of their homes, stormtrooped with guys with full body armor on and machine guns and stuff, and were literally drug out of their houses and enslaved. And 6,000 innocent Americans enslaved today. So, I mean, I sometimes I watch the news and I want to hear some real hard-hitting news, and it just seems like maybe they could talk about this a little bit more, Like, hey, newsflash, today 6,000 innocent Americans were enslaved today. You know what I mean? Like, hey, was that worth maybe just bringing it up? I don't know. I mean, to me it seems like, yeah, but, maybe that's just me. The point of the story is that, look, man, I've had to go through hell. I mean, it's like Nazi Germany. If you're a Jew in Nazi Germany or a political dissident, it's not fun. And granted, that's the way it is here. And it's just like talking to these. I call into these talk radio shows, and it's like talking to a propagandist. It is, and it's like, and eventually I'm just like, dude. I mean, I called into the show. I was like horribly nervous and just acting just ridiculous. And by the end, I was like, actually struck me. I was so pissed that I couldn't even be nervous anymore. And that's what you're basically looking at in America. And, I just got to be honest with you. I mean, why do I have a nervous problem? I've had a nervous problem since I started taking Prozac. And Prozac, from what I've read, is 90% fluoride, which is the same thing that was done in Nazi Germany. They came in and gave people 90% fluoride pills and said it was for depression or sadness or whatever. And, I mean, if you're completely oblivious to reality, I guess it is anti-depression. But, needless to say, the next few years after that weren't too much fun. Incidentally, I was at a military school. Incidentally, it was the head of my dorm in the room with the counselor, both basically like asking me, soliciting, these answers. And how I ended up in that position, I don't know. But yeah, I was probably going through some stuff. I mean, my brother died, supposedly of Ritalin, doctor's opinion, and to my understanding. And, he took it for a long time, and now he's dead. And so, that was a heart attack. So, he was 20 years old. And not to say that I have the best relationship. Some of my family members could probably drop dead now. I hate to say that. But, I mean, my brother was a special person in my life. And it wasn't too much fun for me growing up from age 9 on with a dead brother and having nightmares about, man, I just don't want to talk about it. And it's just, that's the society we live in today. More people held in captivity than China. It's just a nightmare. I mean, do you understand? And there's going to be all kinds of mass murder going on. Just like Nazi Germany. I had this cop the other day, she goes, this country, let me tell you something, is a lot better than a lot of other countries. And I said, yeah, let me tell you something. Nazi Germany was a lot better than a lot of other countries. First microchip. First televisions. Color televisions. In the world. And people would go, yes, okay, this is what I'm talking about. The most wealthy country in the world was Germany. For a fact. And then what happened? Collapsed into a mass murder scenario. That's what I told her. And for a while I thought it was all the information I was giving to these cops that kept them from enslaving me that day. And incidentally, come to find out, I think it was the Rottweiler that was walking around. And 150-pound Rottweiler. But I mean, they've got guns, but I mean, a dog lunging at your face, strongest bite force of any dog in the world. I mean, I would think maybe that might, especially they just look scary with that chain wrapped around there. It was just a chain. And, the damn dog's aggressive, man. They wanted to bite every dog. I had to get rid of it, but I think that's probably what stopped them. And it's sad, to have to think in terms of like battle mentality, like what do I have to have, you know what I mean? But that's, in my opinion, sad. Very. But then you look at some people's opinion, like Thomas Jefferson. He said that every citizen should be a soldier, which I agree, yes, we should all be soldiers, but that doesn't mean you need to have a vicious dog around that bites other animals. I'm just not interested in it. You know what I mean? I found another guy. I put it on Craigslist. I said the dog is aggressive, and these guys, I met them and they paid me for the dog too, more than what I paid for it. But either way, they said, yeah, I got a dog it's a German Rottweiler, and it'll kick your dog's ass if nothing else. So I was happy to see that, because the dog needs to learn. I mean, you're not supposed to just bite other stuff. You need to figure it out. You need to figure it out. And so, but either way, guns and stuff like that, I'm all for it. Every kind of, I mean, all I had on me was a pellet gun, and they picked up the pellet gun. I hate to even admit that, but seriously, it was true. And they picked up the pellet gun, and they were like, "What's this?" And I was like, "A pellet gun? Is that a problem? You know what I mean? Is that a problem? You know what I mean? A pellet gun? And needless to say, I guess it is. You're an enemy in America now, and all the stuff that goes into what causes people to draw those conclusions. I don't really want to go into it today, because it's a lot of false flag stuff, and then I have to explain every bit of research that I gave to you to come to those conclusions, and it's strenuous. It's strenuous, it's mentally strenuous, stressful, and it is just, oh man, it just drives you out of your mind. It's antagonizing too, in a way. I don't know how to explain it. But the end goal of what they're trying to accomplish is so bad that I can't even do it, man. Can't even talk about it. But I have to, you have to talk about it, they want to kill everybody, I'm sorry, that's what they're trying to do. They want to round people up and kill them. That's the goal of these false flags. I don't know, it's, the way I've come to that conclusion is just like I said, it's a nightmare. I guess I'll go through it. George Bush's grandfather laundered money for Nazi Germany, was president of a shipping line, Harriman shipping line, that propagandized against the actual German government on behalf of the SS, the stormtroopers. I think it was 300,000 of them, to take over the country and install Hitler. That wasn't something that just happened, like some like I said, I don't even really want to talk about it, but some huge personality that can just generate this type of, that's what we're told, Oh, and he had so much charisma and just caused the extermination. Let me tell you something. There's nothing that could be further from the truth. And man, if I had to tell you everything, it would make me sound like stupid, And so, but I guess I will, It looks like Hitler is a illegitimate son of some Rothschild central banker of England, And you're like, whoa, you saying a conspiracy's going on in England? It's like, it's a constitutional monarchy. I mean, the Queen is built into it. I mean, it's not like it's on paper. You know what I mean? I mean, and it's not a good country, you know. And that's what another thing that pissed me off was talking about. Oh, you just use the word conspiracy, and all of a sudden, nothing I've said is legitimate anymore. You know, like it's an unreasonable idea that people with large amounts of wealth would get together with a shared goal. That happens all the time. There's a lot of times competitors will get together on a golf course in any industry and just talk about, hey, let's keep our prices a little bit higher. You know, not even necessarily being, but just a handful of competitors. You know, major, and there you go. It's not difficult, man. That's the natural thing to happen. You know, is for that to happen, and so it happens. You know, I mean, how hard is it for people to get together in a room? I don't even really want to talk about this, to be honest with you, but I've seen this shit. You know what I mean? I've seen it happen. I've actually been there when people start talking about this kind of shit. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, I was in a room one time with an association of companies, and a guy got up and said, well, let's talk about prices. And I said, I think that might be collusion, you know, and so people start laughing and stuff because you can't just do that, you know what I'm saying? But yet, it happens all the time, you know? And so why anybody should feel like this isn't reasonable is just ridiculous, pisses me off, and I'm pissed off that I'm even talking about this right now, to be honest with you. I'm pissed off that I even had to get this far with it. Because somewhere along the line, I got uncomfortable with what I'm talking about here, and I had to keep going, you know, and it's not fun, you know, it's not, it's really not. I would love to be like you and just watch football and pretend like nothing's going on, but unfortunately something in me is just a little different, and I'll sit there and watch football, and I'm like, dude, these people are going to end up with all kinds of just mental and psychological problems from bashing their heads together. And then I've read the books, and I know and I understand that this is for sure a mechanism being employed at the highest levels to get people, by their words, something about bemused, and so, I mean, you know, I can't just do it anymore, man, and I can't watch it, and I can't, you know, I can't be it, I can't, you know, what it is, it's like a red pill scenario where you're sitting there like, I wish I took the red pill, you know what I mean? In a way, because it's a lot, you know, it's a lot to take in, man. It is. It's a lot. So, but either way, I couldn't do it because it's too ignorant. I can't even look at the people who do that. Just look at the just ignorant look on their faces and just the contempt and who they are, and it's just, oh my God, and just the ignorance, you know what I mean? And just the value system of ignorance, and oh my God, and you sit there and actually start figuring them out, and you're like, dude, you are going to hell, you know? And then all of a sudden the Bible makes perfect sense. Like, these people gotta go to fucking hell. And so, you know, needless to say, I don't think I could be one of these people, but then again, that's not exactly a fun process either, you know. Not exactly a fun process. You know, and so I can't even go into it anymore. I really can't. I'm going to try to pick up